Welcome everyone. This is an attempt that we're making to answer some questions on social media. So Oscar's been collecting them and we'll be doing some Q&As as time allows to answer these questions, some which are very, very interesting. So there's one question now about the impact of AI on what we are doing at the London Psychometric laboratory. Well, there's one thing that travels faster than the speed of light, and this is perceived expertise about AI. And there's so many experts now in the last 2-3 years, and there's master's courses, and there's research on artificial intelligence, and none of this was available. Like 2-3 years ago, no one had heard about this before ChatGPT, but now we've got master's courses at universities and experts upon experts upon experts. And I will tell you the main reason why. There's several reasons, but the main reason why, strategically speaking, is because it is making all this space of mimicry and imitation and copying and cloning impossible to operate in. Now, I have been doing this for more than 25 years, let's say 25 years to have a nice round number. After the publication of the very first paper, Petrides and 2000, the copying started from that point. There's all these individuals and companies that are coming and copying what we're doing, imitating, and so on and so forth. And this is happening a lot in the field of psychometric assessment, psychological consultancy, leadership stuff. There's a lot of it. But now, the big boss, the king of imitation, the king of copying, the king of cloning has arrived, and that is artificial intelligence. And it's going to blow out of the water all these imitators, all these clones. It's going to make it impossible for them to operate. So there's going to be basically two entities that are going to benefit from all this. Number one, obviously, is going to be the AI brigade and the AI bosses. They're going to be big beneficiaries from that. The second entity that is going to benefit, the original, authentic content providers. So if you're original what you're doing, if you are committed to what you're doing, if you're genuine about what you are doing, and you are the one who is being copied year in, year out, and now on an industrial scale by AI, then simply you're going to be in an unassailable position. So what we are doing at the London Psychometric Laboratory is being pioneering for over 25 years, and now it's going to become completely unique because it is trailblazing. It is that which is being copied. So we are very, very grateful, strategically speaking, for the advent of AI. And that's before we talk about like secondary stuff, like how it's making my work more efficient in terms of coding and analysis and so on and so forth. It's allowing me to do a lot more stuff than I was able to do before. But this strategic advantage of making it impossible to operate with profit through cloning, through mimicking, through imitating, through simulating, but never quite delivering the right thing, never quite delivering the real thing, is going to be a huge advantage for us. So that's how AI is impacting what we are doing in a nutshell.
Regarding your instruments, particularly TQ and Tray TI, can they not be copied by AI as well and be outshined at the end of the day?
No, it's exactly the opposite now. So as I've just been saying, because really that which is psychological, which is genuinely psychological, that which is genuinely linked to human creativity cannot be copied. It can appear to be copied, but this has been going on for years. You have people who appear to be copying the trade AI theory and our products and our technologies, our methodologies. They seem to be copied. They seem to be providing something similar or better value for money. It always appears to be operating but it's all an illusion because it's not authentic. It's not genuine. You're taking something that you've seen, you're copying it, putting your own marketing, your own terminology, your own nomenclature, right? You're presenting it as something, well, when in fact you know that it isn't. And generally speaking, if you extend this beyond the circumstances of the laboratory here, everything that you do in life, if you're not genuine in what you're doing, if you're not authentic in what you are delivering in life, generally, whatever line of work you find yourself in, you are going to be in trouble. Because if you've been copying and imitating, either consciously or subconsciously, then something has arrived now that can copy and imitate and simulate a lot better and a lot more efficiently and a lot more cheaply than you can. So that is going to be a difficulty for those who are not. But those who are genuine, who are honestly, authentically creative, are going to find themselves in a much better position. Obviously, these individuals and outfits are going to be far and few in between, but that's where we are right now.
Can TQ be used to measure creativity, to measure the creative potential of an individual, like a benchmark?
Oh yeah, that's good. That's the whole thing. So what we are doing with trait emotional intelligence, and more importantly now with psychobionomy, is meta creativity. Is creativity about creativity? So whereas most of the world has been going, and especially now on high speed with the advent of AI, into trying to simulate creativity. So you have creativity up there, and you're trying to copy it, imitate it, make it more efficient, cheaper, deliver it more faster. You're just trying to cut corners and make yourself relevant in the market. So you're trying to simulate. We are coming from the opposite end. So that's meta creativity. So making people creative. So instead of trying to copy creativity, we're giving you the opportunity to become yourself creative, and then give yourself the opportunity to be copied by others. So release this authenticity and release this genuineness and creative capacity that's already inside you. This needs to be released, and that's what we are doing. So we are making creativity explode. So another question that we have received is, self-awareness is a common dimension for models of emotional intelligence, brackets Mesquite/Goldman. Therefore, is it relevant to say self-awareness can be a significant predictor of blissfulness? Wow, there's so much that we can say. First of all, trait emotional intelligence is emotional intelligence. There is nothing beyond trait emotional intelligence in this field. I know it might sound a bit haughty, but what we are offering is complete and self-contained. So you don't need references to any other model. It's just simply going to confuse you. Awareness is not a dimension in the Mesquite. I'm pretty sure about that. I think it is in some of Goldman's writings, but it's neither here nor there. So we're not trying to say where trait AI overlaps with other models or no. I'm not at all interested in that. Nor should you fall into the trap of trying to find out, okay, well, what is common between all the AI models? Well, that has to be the truth. It doesn't work like that, So our offering out there is not an AI-related offering. It's not this kind of process that is going to lead you into truth and reality. Well, let's put everything in one big blender, and then let's take the lowest common denominator. What is the lowest common denominator between all these models, Petrides and Goldman and Salavi and May? What is it that they have in common? That has to be the truth. No. It's not like that at all. Trait AI is complete. It's self-contained. You can't take things out of it. You can't put things into it. So in trait emotional intelligence and psychobionomy more generally, self-awareness is something that emanates from the totality of the profile. It's not a particular facet. Self-awareness is not something that it's not a property of the mind. It cannot be measured. You cannot put self-awareness into some kind of scale. So to ask the question of whether self-awareness is a significant predictor of blissfulness is not really the right question. It's because self-awareness is blissfulness. There's no difference between self-awareness and blissfulness. So it's a concept, the very concept of Sat Chit Ananda. Self-awareness is bliss. There is no other bliss beyond self-awareness. So self-awareness is not a predictor of bliss. It's the same one thing. Okay, well, here's another question that we have received, and that is on the relationship between trait emotional intelligence and culture. Whether trait AI affects culture or culture affects trait AI, and it's a two-way relationship. Trait emotional intelligence collectively will manifest in the culture, and then the dominant culture and the trait AI profile of the culture, because the trait AI profile is not only an individual thing. You can profile a team, you can profile an organization, a country, and so on and so forth, a whole region. So, and a culture. So the trait AI, the individual, interacts with the trait AI of the culture. We just published actually a paper, a scientific paper, as it happens, it's a meta-analysis on trait emotional intelligence, cross-cultural differences in trait emotional intelligence. So there's a lot of technical analysis there, and we'll be putting this in social media sometime shortly. It's a big and beautiful meta-analysis on that precise question. So when an individual is exposed to different cultures, it largely influences their trait AI. Absolutely, yes. Exposure to more cultures does influence the emotional constitution of your inner world, which is what trait emotional intelligence is. It may be for good, it may be for not so good, but there's always an interaction between the trait AI profile and the surrounding circumstances and culture. But for more details, and especially if you want scientific findings, as it were, I will refer you to this paper. It's 2025 Personality and Individual Differences, Cross-Cultural Differences in Trait Emotional Intelligence. We'll put it on social media. It's one of my with one of my great PhD students, Jin-Yan Yang. And there was a second question on this interrelationship between trait emotional intelligence and culture. So bringing specifically the Indian context, you can have multiple cultures within one region or one country. And in the context of that, Kuldeep was the questionnaire, gave as an example the following. He said, well, you can see in India, you can see having meat as auspicious on holy events in southern states, and on the other hand, having meat as bad on holy events in northern states in India. But having meat is not a good idea at all. In holy events or not holy events in south or the north, it's not a good idea, and we refrain from that, generally speaking. If only for aesthetic reasons, it's not a good idea at all, and India knows this very well. They taught us. So. Hello, my name is Konstantin Petrides. I am Professor of Psychology and Psychometrics at University College London. And this is where Psychometrics started over 100 years ago, and I am the first Professor of Psychometrics at UCL. I have developed many measures of psychological attributes. The most widely used is the Trait Emotional Intelligence Questionnaire, TQ. It's being used globally by individuals, businesses, organizations, governments, literally all over the world. I have also developed important theories of psychology, which is trait emotional intelligence theory is the most widely used, but also belief importance theory, and everything is encapsulated in my grand scheme of psychobionomy, which is a whole system that's to do with true psychology, genuine psychology that has been a topic of investigation for thousands of years. And psychobionomy is about the investigation of the laws governing the mind and life. So this is what you need to know in order to make your life count for you, in order to make a life that you feel like you want to live, unlike the life that you're currently living. So if you check below this video, you'll find the various links that you can use to keep in touch with us, register, subscribe, check out our stuff, certainly attend some of our events, and I will also very strongly recommend that you assess yourself at least on the Trait Emotional Intelligence Questionnaire and on the scan-in, maybe first on the scan-in, but I wouldn't recommend that you do this on your own. Hopefully you're working with a coach or you're working with an advisor, and then they can help you interpret the results, or maybe we can help you interpret the results. But check out the links below and keep in touch.